Tonight on the Marion Star Live, we're coming to you from an empty Cuss Wilson gym. The Wildcats are in Centralia preparing for their season opener tonight. We'll give you an outlook on the upcoming season by talking to head coach Gus Gillespie and a little bit of a preview on what Wildcat fans can expect this season. All this and much more on tonight's edition of the Marion Star Live.
Now live from Swinford Media Group. The Marion Star, where Marion is the star.
Welcome to tonight's edition of the Marion Star Live. I'm Riley Swinford. We're here live at Cuss Wilson Gymnasium, where normally this time of year, this gym would look a little bit different. Nearly 1 year ago to the date, on March 6th, 2020, this gym was packed as Heron and Marion squared off for the regional championship game, a game that Marion won, and Jackson Connor set Marion's all-time scoring record. Now, that was just 11 months ago, and the world has completely changed since then. We've had the COVID-19 pandemic. That day was the last day that Marion school students attended here during the 2020 school year. We went into lockdown and quarantine shortly thereafter, and sports and life as we know it was put into jeopardy starting later that week after the Wildcats lost to East St. Louis at the Mount Vernon sectional. We didn't know when the next chance we would have to live stream or just watch Marion athletics after those events unfolded. We had a lot of uncertainty this fall with Marion football being postponed until next month. And up until recently, we didn't even know if Marion Wildcat basketball would happen at all this season. But the Wildcat season is back finally, and now it will look a little bit different than we're used to this season, as there won't be fans really in this gym. We're told there's just going to be limited spectators of about 50 here at Cuss Wilson Gym. It won't be the 3,500 screaming Marion and Heron fans we had a year ago in this gym, but we are back and we are excited for another season of Marion Wildcat athletics, and we are proud to be part of it as we plan to live stream all Marion home games, freshman, JV, varsity, boys and girls basketball here from Cuss Wilson Gym this season for those of you who can't make it. Now, the Wildcats are in Centralia tonight, and that game is being live streamed by Centralia on YouTube. We'll have a link to that broadcast on our page. And then next week, next Friday night, the Wildcats will officially open their home slate here at Wilson Gym by hosting Carbondale on Friday, February 12th. Our first live stream will be against the freshman and Centralia game on Wednesday night when Marion hosts Centralia for a freshman game. And then the varsity girls will play on Thursday night, February 11th, before the varsity boys next Friday night. We're excited to bring you all those games, and alongside our partners, John A. Logan College, Watermark Auto Group, and our other generous sponsors. Leading into the season, we wanted to talk to Marion head coach Gus Gillespie to find out his thoughts on this abnormal season, his expectations for the season, life without Marion's all-time leading scorer Jackson Connor, and what Wildcat fans can expect on the court this year. Here's what the head coach told us in an interview with the Marion Star earlier this week.
Well, first of all, it's been strange and different. So I don't know if any coach in the state can say they're actually prepared for a basketball game, especially the first basketball game. But hey, we're happy to be playing and happy the players get an opportunity to get out and compete. And we'll just see. It's a short season, and we'll see how it goes. But the opportunity is something that they'll remember, and I'm glad they have a chance to go out and play. You can go back to the sectional of last year. Anytime you have a ending, we get beat in the sectional, and normally you're talking about 2 or 3 weeks off, players playing spring sports, and then you come back together in the summer. Well, we missed the entire summer. School cranks back up. I think sometime in September after Labor Day, we were allowed some contact days, and we were able to get in the gym and lift. We were doing some conditioning. We were shooting. But still, there was just a weird feeling whether, when this was going to happen, if it was going to happen. And we continued to do that up until right before Halloween and right before November. That's when things were kind of shut down. And from that point, really, you're talking about the entire month of November, the entire month of December, and most of January. You don't have a ball in your hand. They don't have a ball in their hand in front of you. There's no conditioning. There's no weightlifting. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of stagnant, dead time on athletes. So, finally there at the end of January, we were able to get into the gym a little bit. And then last week with the announcement of being able to play. So, being in shape is a critical part of basketball. I'm sure a lot of teams are going to look sloppy and ugly. You can't execute, you can't perform unless you're in shape, and that's just going to take some time, and maybe time we don't have. Unfortunately, we lost some seniors that have been in our program, and a couple of them had been in the program for 4 years, basically when I took over this job as a freshman. And no hard feelings, nothing like that. They just evaluated the situation and the dynamics of how things are going to be now. No crowd, with a mask. Just going to be a lot different than the atmosphere maybe that they were used to, and maybe they want to have those memories in the back of their mind instead of this. And so, each person has to make that decision, and we'll see what this new season of February, March looks like now. You think of the last time we were at Marion and we're playing in front of a full house, playing in the regional championship, and now you're walking out there playing in front of limited fans, and just a totally different atmosphere. But like you said, the love of the game, the love of competing, of preparing. I think those things were greatly missed by some of our kids, and we have two seniors, Jordan Cook and Hunter Simmons, and a transfer from Mount Vernon, and just a heck of a football player. He was a very good basketball player for Mount Vernon last year. Of course, they won the South 7, and he was a pivotal part of that team, and I think he can bring us a lot of leadership. He's won those conference championships, and hopefully he'll lead and take care of business, and then take care of business in football. The other senior that I have is Jordan Cook. Of course, he's been in the program for 4 years. Played a lot of varsity for us last year as a junior, and can shoot the ball. And Jordan's hung in there. I'm proud of him because all these kids have taken their shots from this, and he decided, hey, I'm gonna hang in there and get the most out of my senior year. Well, really, there's no conference. I mean, we're not even playing Belleville Althoff. We're playing Cahokia once. So, when you look at it right now, we have 9 or 10 games, and there's no regional, there's no conference. We're just going out to competing. And one thing I want to talk about our seniors, and one thing I've talked to them about is, guys, look. What you can do is maybe, continue to build on what we were building on last year and help these guys get into their senior season. Maybe it'll be more regular than it's been, and we can get back to normal. But, we're going to use these 10 games to develop depth, give the seniors opportunities to play, and bring along some sophomores. I've got a couple juniors that have all, played some varsity basketball for us. Ray Bardot's been playing since his freshman year. I think he's started every game maybe since the third game of his freshman year, so now he's a junior, brings a lot of experience back. Vincent Newsom's another junior that's played a ton of varsity, played as a freshman, started basically his entire sophomore year. Trevor Jackson played some varsity basketball last year as a sophomore, so we do bring back some experience. Bryson Wilson was a JV player last year. He's a junior, and that kind of rounds out our junior class. And from there, we're going to look at some sophomores and bring those guys along, and hopefully this will really help us next year as those guys develop and become juniors.
Bardot finds Jordan Cook under the basket, blocked by Braid, tipped around, comes to Connor, and he's done it! Marion's all-time leading scorer is now Jackson Connor. He just broke Greg Sterrick's all-time record. We just saw history as Jackson Connor is now Marion's all-time leading scorer and now has 1,977 career points.
I mean, you've got a guy averaging, as many points as Jackson did and scored in his career. That's the one thing we've talked about. Every night out, you're looking for Jackson to get 20 or 25, and that puts a lot of stress on your offense when you're demanding that from one person. We've got to spread the ball out. That's something that we've talked about. I think we're going to play several guys out there they can average, get 10 or 12 points, and that'll make up for that 25 points quick. So, balanced scoring, team basketball. If we do those things, I think we'll be a fun team to watch. I was hoping that we would not have to compete in the mask. I don't think there's anything wrong with coaches wearing a mask. Obviously, that's how college basketball is being played. I was disappointed that this was part of the rule to compete in a mask. And I don't have a medical degree, and I didn't go to become a doctor, but I just don't see the how you can really compete and compete hard and wear a mask. But we're going to do what we can do, and I'm not satisfied with that at all. But we're going to give it our best shot. I know Mr. Gudinski is going to talk to our players today about the new rules with fans and who's allowed in the games, and when we're at home and the parents are there, just being supportive, and I think them just showing up and. After what we've been through since March, just to watch their son compete and have fun and know that they're out there playing the game that they love, that they should get the enjoyment out of that. Well, I appreciate you guys doing it. I know we have a lot of people excited about that, and I know it's a great way right now to, they can spend a Friday night or a Tuesday evening watching Marion High School basketball, and I'm glad they have that opportunity.
Thanks, Coach, and best of luck tonight against the Orphans. Now, when we come back here on the Marion Star Live, we're going to tell you about the namesake, Cuss Wilson, the man behind the name of this gym, with another segment in our Turning Back Time series brought to you by Arcadia Wealth Management. Stay with us.
Logan Fitness at John A. Logan College is open and operating safely for your health. Temperature screening, mask policies, spacious facilities, and frequent cleaning make Logan Fitness the safest location for indoor exercise. Our staff goes the extra mile to ensure that the facility is always clean and regularly disinfected for a great member experience. In addition, our large open areas make it easy to accomplish your workout while still maintaining social distance. All for an affordable price with no contracts. Come see what we're all about at Logan Fitness.
Swinford Media and the Marion Star are proud to have the Watermark Auto Group as a sponsor of all our digital programming.
Swinford Media and the Marion Star appreciate the support of the Arcadia Wealth Group, which is sponsoring Wildcat Wednesdays and our Turning Back Time segments.
Welcome back. We're now here in the lobby of Virgil Cuss Wilson Gymnasium because tonight's feature is about Cuss Wilson himself. During our popular Turning Back Time segment here on the Marion Star Live, brought to you by Arcadia Wealth Management, we've been telling you about the man behind the gym's name. Tonight, we'll dive further into the story of Virgil Cuss Wilson himself. Let's take a look.
James Virgil Cuss Wilson was a Marion High School basketball coach, teacher, athletic director, and administrator. Cuss was born in 1905, the youngest of 4 children of a coal miner and his wife in Dixon Springs, located in Pope County, Illinois. As a boy, his family moved to Marion, and his nickname originated in his childhood. Like most boys at the time, he liked playing soldiers and Indians, and Virgil's friends started calling him Custer, as in General George Custer. The nickname stuck, and it was later shortened to just Cuss. As a Marion High School student, Cuss did not play basketball. However, after a stint working in the coal mines, in which he grew stronger and sturdier, he went on to attend and played the still young game of basketball at Southern Illinois Normal College in Carbondale. There he played in a brand new gymnasium, now known as Davies Gym, on the campus of Southern Illinois University. After 4 standout seasons to as team captain, he graduated and married Hazel Thaxton of Harrisburg and found his first job as a teacher in Ridgeway, Illinois. He returned to Marion High School in 1934 as a teacher and coach, starting as an assistant under another legendary coach, Paul Houghton. Cuss went on to become head basketball coach, winning 301 games in 15 years, an average of 20 each season. Included were 12 regional tournament titles and 3 sectional titles that sent his teams to the state tournaments in 1946, 48, and 51. One of his early assistants was Cliff Storm, who later became the high school principal and then the district superintendent. Coach Wilson made a great contribution to Illinois prep basketball in teaching the full court press defense. Marion's pressing teams of that era always had a guard who could steal the ball before an opponent even knew what happened. One of those guards was Johnny Goss, who went on to star on the court at SIU and later became a prominent businessman and youth coach in his hometown, while also serving on the school board and, until recently, the Marion City Council. John Goss attributes much of his success to his high school basketball coach and mentor.
He pretty well originated this zone press defense, and he relied a lot on his defense. And it was a new approach to the ball game. In fact, a lot of the northern coaches came down to learn how he did it, because it was a completely different type of defense he set up. So I give credit to Cuss. That's where a lot of his wins came, was on his defense. He's a motivator, very quiet demeanor, but very firm with you. If you messed up, he'd let you know it pretty quick. But I think Cuss, he was just a genuinely good person. He not only liked his coaching, he just liked the people that he coached. He changed a lot of lives, including mine. And I never forget that. But I go to Southern, SIU, and I'm trying out to see if I can make the team. And they didn't know I was out. We practiced by the big boys are shooting around, and I was never noticed. So I came home one day and thinking, well, it's time for me to hang it up. They don't even know I'm out there. Cuss was sitting on the football bleachers. I come by to get a little sympathy from him. And I said, Cuss, they don't even know I'm out there. He said, there's no point in me staying. And I wanted a little sympathy, but Cuss looked at me like he's was sick, a little disdain. And he said, well, it's for darn sure they don't know you're out and you're over here trying to talk to me. And that's what he turned me around. I went back out, lo and behold, I made the team later 2 years in a row. And it's all because of him. I say he taught me to be a man instead of what I was headed down the road to.
This $5 bill, signed by Johnny Goss and his teammates, was a gift to Cuss after he coached the players to a state tournament. You can see John's signature along with several other familiar names, including Benton Odom, who went on to play at the University of Illinois and was inducted into the IBCA Hall of Fame. Cuss Wilson had one of the most quiet bench demeanors of anybody who ever coached. No matter how excited a crowd might become during the many furious Wildcat rallies and comebacks, Wilson hardly ever uncrossed his legs or yelled from the bench. It's said that's why he battled ulcers for many years. In 1955, the Illinois High School Coaches Association cited Wilson for outstanding achievement in the guidance of young men by promoting ideals of character, leadership, dependability, and sportsmanship, the development of a cooperative spirit of athletic teams, and the contribution to the coaching profession. In recognition of Wilson's work, the Marion Lions Club in 1957 established the Cuss Wilson Scholarship and began awarding it annually to the Marion High School Outstanding Athlete. Cuss always found ways to supplement his teacher salary, working for an ice company in his early days, and later becoming a part owner of TVW Menswear in Marion. The name TVW was composed from the names Thaxton, Vaughn, and Wilson, the names of the 3 business partners. After retiring from coaching, he moved into administration and became the assistant to his former assistant, MHS principal Cliff Storm. After 32 years on the faculty of Marion High School, he retired in 1966. The class of '67 dedicated their senior yearbook to the retired teacher, administrator, and coach. In the yearbook pages, Cuss was quoted as saying, "If I had to do it over again, I don't think I would do anything differently. I would have liked to have been a better teacher, and I would have liked to have won more games, but I wouldn't change it otherwise. I've been very lucky. I don't believe there has ever been a happier guy in his work than I have been. I was happy teaching and coaching. But then I enjoyed working in the coal mines too, and also I was happy working in the summer, carrying cakes of ice on my back." After retirement, he put his focus on his men's clothing store. Teacher, administrator, and coach Virgil Cuss Wilson was inducted into the Illinois High School Association Hall of Fame in 1974, and he passed away in 1977. Among his survivors were wife Hazel, daughter Lois Jane, and her husband Ben Bruce, and 3 grandchildren, including Ben Wilson Bruce, better known as BW, a Marion businessman and school board member. When a new high school gym was built and opened in the early 1980s, it was branded Cuss Wilson Gym. Though it was remodeled in recent years, it still carries that name today.
Standing room only crowd here at Cuss Wilson Gymnasium. Lewis top to Keith, to Bardot. Connor calling for it in the post, double teamed. Instead, they swing it around to Horner, who goes right through for an open layup. Frankie Horner has scored the second half.
In an upcoming segment, we hope to bring you an interview with another of Cuss Wilson's standout players. As always, thanks to Sam Latuca of the Marion, Illinois Historic Preservation website for background information and photos, and to B.W. Bruce for other details about his grandfather. Arcadia Wealth Group sponsors all of our Turning Back Time segments, and we are also grateful for that. Reporting for the Marion Star Live, I'm Bill Swinford.
That will do it for tonight's edition of the Marion Star Live. Until next week when we start our busy week of Wildcat live streams, the freshmen on Wednesday, the varsity girls on Thursday, and then the varsity boys in their home opener against Carbondale next Friday night. Moments from now, the Wildcats are getting ready to tip the JV game up in Centralia, followed by the varsity game. Now, since that is a road game, COVID-19 restrictions do not allow us to live stream that here on our page tonight. So Centralia is providing the feed, and you can find a link to that here on our page or on the Marion High School Athletics Facebook page to see that action. We'll bring you all of the action here from Wilson Gym next week. Until then, I'm Riley Swinford. Thank you so much for watching, and go Wildcats.
The proceeding has been a production of the Marion Star Live. The material may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, or otherwise used without the prior written consent of Swinford Publications, LLC.